Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Real Talk with Mary Grace. We are live. I'm Mary Grace. Welcome to the show. Hope everybody can hear me all right. I am coming to you on the 6th of April, 2021. It's a beautiful day here in Virginia. And good to see everybody. Hello, welcome on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, please remember to share this into groups. That's the best way to get the word out and to get around the algorithms. And then also, if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up, hit the like the broadcast. Wait a minute, how do I do this? Thumbs up, subscribe, and then hit the bell. And if you hit the bell, then you should get notifications, but we don't know if you'll get them on time. So, also, I'm on Clout Hub channel 111, Mary Grace Media. And then don't forget, if you want to start following me on Instagram, that's Mary Grace Media over on Instagram. And I'm going to be doing more lifestyle, sort of inspirational, motivational kind of stuff over there. Did you know that my Facebook page, I when I first set it up, you have to pick a label. And so I called myself a motivational speaker. So that's a little bit of what I'm going to be doing over on Instagram. I think I'm a motivational speaker anyway, but I did that on Facebook to get around the algorithm because I don't think they like it when you say that you're into politics or anything like that. So Mary Grace, you did yesterday. Well, yesterday you had a tough crowd. Did I? Did I have a tough crowd? I don't even remember. It's been such a busy couple of days. So, anyway, but just make sure I've noticed that people have been following my Instagram, and so thank you for following. And I'm kind of enjoying Instagram. I don't know. I've got some good people that I follow over there, and and I wanted to just sort of take advantage of the platform. Some people hate it because everybody hates Suckabuck, but the way I see it is, we have to own the territory. And as long as we have the ability to leverage and use these platforms for free, then let's do it. And at some point, I know that Mike Lindell's platform is coming out. Frank, he said it's coming out next week. Of course, I'll be on there. And then when the president has his platform out, I'll be on there. And so we'll just, spread the wealth. And I wanted to talk about Instagram a little bit, but somebody has a question. Am I running for political office? Not right now. People have had visions and dreams, and I've had a dream that I was in the Senate, in the US Senate. So that's kind of interesting. So yeah, that's another conversation. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. I have a client that tends to try to get in touch with me right when I go live. Okay. I forgot I'm on I'm on Twitter under Real Mary Grace 1. Is that my Twitter? That's my backup. And then apparently I'm on Periscope. So I don't understand the whole Periscope thing because because notifications are popping up from Periscope, and they said it was going to be gone. It's just weird. I don't understand. This is so typical. We're ending it. It's going to be gone. Make sure you do whatever, and I still can't get back in my old Periscope account where I had a gold badge VIP broadcaster status. And so I don't know how that's working, but anyway, so I wanted to talk about I wanted to talk about Instagram for a minute because Sean Foyt is on Instagram. Do you guys know who he is? Do you know that? Feucht. Sean Foyt. Feucht. Um, uh, hold on. Okay. So, all right. So Sean Foyt, Feucht. And he was, I think, at one time a worship leader at Bethel Church. And he he was a worship leader at Bethel Church. He's doing he I'm wearing his shirt today. I'm wearing the shirt that I got at the Let Us Worship in Washington D.C. on the mall. That's when I saw Larry Norris and Larry Norris and Lisa and Andrea. They were all up there, right? And then I saw some of my friends from California. So this is the shirt, and you can order it from his website. And so I wanted to give him a shout out today because he's out there putting himself on the line. His family, he has young kids. He's traveling all over the country. For the most part, his wife is staying home, taking care of the kids, from what I can tell. He's been, fined and cited and, threatened to be arrested. And I mean, he's literally a modern day warrior for Christ and a patriot. And so I really wanted you guys to give him some love. And I was looking at his website. He has this merchandise for sale. So if you go follow his Instagram, it's now I can't find it. I just had it up. That's the only thing I don't like about Instagram. It's so easy to lose track of where you were. Okay, so Let Us Worship. It's right here. That's what it looks like. Okay. So go follow that. And then you click on the link in their description. Sorry. And it takes you to their website. Okay, they have a link tree. And then click on merch. And it takes you directly to so it looks like that. See that? There's a whole list of links. And then it takes you to his website, which is SeanFoyt.com merch. See that? Okay, so it's his name. And I love it because, they've got the t-shirts. Look at that cool red t-shirt. Pretty cool. And my sweatshirt, I think, is made in USA. It's really soft and super comfortable. Look at this. They have joggers. Look. So it's definitely worth it, guys, to make a purchase and support what they're doing here. Oh, this is nice. Look at that. Look at that white sweatshirt. That's pretty cool. So I just wanted to tell you guys that because I think that's a way that you can support what he's doing. Of course, you can go to his events. That link tree has the events also. And there's a really good one here. It says the church has left the building. That's a good one. So, he's got amazing reports of revival, people coming to the Lord, everywhere that he goes, the Holy Spirit is just moving. And so, we hear these reports of horrible things that are happening around the world, and everybody, we hear people calling doom and gloom, and this is going to happen, and this many people are going to die. Okay, well, even if that's the case, especially if that's the case, then these people need to know Jesus because they need to know when they die where they're going to go. And and so whether it's happening by an injection or by compliance to whatever people are putting in their bodies, or if it's the second coming, if it's the rapture, I'm not going to get into the weeds on that, but what I'm going to tell you is that the whole world needs to know who Jesus is. And so Sean Foyt and his crew, they are out there putting their money where their mouth is, and they are traveling the whole country, and they're doing these worship revivals. And it's not easy to put on one of these. It takes an entire crew. They have, whole tractor trailers full of people that are full of equipment and people just to set up a stage for one of these. And so, based on what I know about just trying to set up my microphone, I can tell you that it's not easy to do that. And of course, that the devil is going to try to resist them everywhere they go. So keep them in your prayers. Go buy some of their merchandise and just give them some love. Okay. And so I just wanted to give a shout out. Sean, you're doing great work. And you know what else I love about what he's doing is that he ran for Congress in California. And one of my friends helped on his campaign. He's from out in Vacaville, California, which is north of San Francisco. And he was running for Congress, and he 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 was running for Congress, and he didn't get through the primary. But here's the thing. Because he was running for Congress and because he's America first, he got the attention of a lot of people, and his fame, or I guess notoriety, got so much bigger. He was really put into the spotlight because he ran for Congress, and he appeared on some of the primetime like Fox shows and things like that. So God really spotlighted him. And I think the amazing thing is that God knows the end from the beginning. And so even though it wasn't his time to be in Congress, which we now know probably would have been stolen from him because of the way the elections went, it wasn't his time then. God put him in the spotlight, and now he's answering the call, and he's going out, and he's doing all of these worship services, and he's been doing this in California. He's been doing this in California since well before these lockdowns lifted. And he's, like I said, he's had citations against him. I mean, the enemy has been coming against him nonstop. Here's what he looks like. So you can't really miss it. Look, there he is. Okay. Pretty distinctive. And his kids are just cute as little buttons, really cute. So I just love how God does this, because everything that the enemy meant for evil, God has turned around for good, because he was out there. Sean was the one that was out there in California during all the lockdowns when people were getting arrested for surfing and stand-up paddling. He was out there holding worship services on the beach, and the police were coming out, and they were trying to stop him and shut him down, and he just wouldn't stop. And so this is the way it's done. This is how we do it. Everybody has a place and a lane. This is his lane, and he has stepped up, and God is prospering what they're doing, and he's bringing the people. They're having extra nights in different cities because the Holy Spirit is moving so powerfully with what they're doing. People are getting baptized. People are coming up and getting saved and prayed for and delivered. And so, that's what this is all about. And to those pastors who continue to have your churches closed, I'm asking you why. Why are you listening to the government and not God? Why are you living in fear? Because if you're walking around with a face diaper on, because somebody told you have to do it, or because you're afraid of a cold virus that has a 99.9% recovery rate, and you refuse to listen to the facts of the doctors that have treated thousands of patients with prophylactics and and really readily available medications, when you refuse to listen to that and you are the leader of a congregation and you are fostering and perpetuating that fear, my question to you is, who are you serving? Because I don't think it's God. And I I'm not the only one to say that, but I'm just gonna come out and say it very clearly here. If you are living in fear and you are obeying authorities, that do not have a higher authority than God, than the Lord Jesus Christ, and you are perpetuating this fear in your congregation, why? We're a year into this. And there are churches in my town that haven't opened, that are still having virtual services. There's a church down the street from me that, as far as I know, hasn't opened. And you got to do some soul searching here, guys. This is not right. And the First Amendment guarantees the right to worship, and a pandemic doesn't cancel the First Amendment or the Constitution or individual freedoms to worship. So I just want to encourage you, if you know a pastor who is in that place, send this to them, because I'm asking you, as a person who swore an oath to Almighty God, where is your allegiance lying right now? Who are you allied with? Um, so I just want to ask that question, okay? And I want you to take a look at Sean Foyt and take that example. Mario Murillo is another one. I think it's really interesting that some of the pastors who are standing the tallest and who are exercising the most faith and the most civil disobedience are in California. And a lot of you have told me over and over again, I've heard this, that California is lost. And forget about California. They're going to fall into the ocean. God has abandoned California. And I made a declaration in 2018 it was actually right after the midterms. I was in Florida. I was down there in Broward County when they were trying to steal the election from DeSantis, actually. And I was down there, and I said, I said, California will go red in 2020 for Donald Trump. Do you remember when I said that? Does everybody remember? Some of you have been listening to me, and and so you remember when I made that declaration. There are other prophets who are declaring that as well, and I'm not really considered one of those major prophets. Nobody's having me on their show, but God showed me this, and I declared it, and I have never backed down from that. I've never backed down, and I stand on that. I know that California went for Donald Trump in 2020. I know it did. And I know that the truth is going to come out. I know that every lie will be revealed. I actually have a coffee mug that I bought the last time I was in California. I bought a Starbucks coffee mug. I bought the California coffee mug. I should have brought it on the show, but I bought that. That was in 2019. No, 20, what year was it? 2018. It was 2018. I bought that as a prophetic sign of California going red. It was also a reminder to pray for California. I bought that mug, and it's in my house, and it's so funny because my sister uses it every time she comes, because it's the biggest mug we have, and she likes a big mug for her tea. But it is, to me, it is not God's will that any state should be lost to communism. And I think that the extremes that have been happening in California have been a very good wake up call for people. And so people are starting to see. And I just wanted to give a shout out. There are many pastors in California who are standing. The two that come to mind for me are Sean Foyt, he's a worship pastor, and then Mario Murillo. There's another pastor that's been appearing on the Elijah Streams. That's Manuel, and I don't know his last name, but he was on there today, and he had a very powerful word. And so I absolutely 100% believe that California went red. And the thing is that what happened in 2020 was just a travesty. And any person that is any thinking person at all, regardless of party, should have looked at the election and what was happening and had major, major, major red flags come out. Because what state, well, this is what they did in Arizona and Virginia. What election is decided 5 minutes after the polls close? How can they call a presidential race in a state of millions and millions and millions of people? California is the size of a country. How can they call a state within minutes of the polls closing without even counting the votes? That's just not right. I don't care where you are politically. What election have you ever witnessed? I mean, that just doesn't make sense. That just doesn't make sense. It's like having a pile of money thrown at your feet, a whole mix of tens and twenties and fifties and ones and change and everything, and looking at it and saying, "Oh, that's $1 million." And then anybody that questions you, you tell them that they're a conspiracy theorist, even though you never picked up one single bill or coin to count the money. That's the equivalent of what happened here. And the people that are calling you a conspiracy theorist for questioning it are, either they're crazy, they're blind, or they're complicit. And, United Airlines, for example, they came out with their statement yesterday, and they said they keep insisting that there's no evidence of election fraud. Like, what are you crazy? Of course there's evidence. I mean, Mike Lindell himself has funded the documentaries that have been produced, very, very specific and measured and spelled out evidence of election fraud. I mean, so that's just willful ignorance, and that's their choice. So that's my little soapbox about election, the California. And California is not the only state. I believe Virginia went red. I believe that I know Arizona went red. I mean, that's crazy. Nevada, Colorado, New Mexico, New York. I think just about every state went red. So, yeah, and we need to pray. Listen, here's what I want to pray about real estate, because somebody just said, I hear that China has bought up all the properties that people sold. Let me tell you guys, if you go back to my broadcast from the summer, I told you that the reason that the Democrats were allowing the violence in the cities is that they wanted people to leave, because then the Chinese were going to come in and buy up the real estate. Remember when I told you that? I hate to say it, but I saw that. I knew that was going to happen. That's why they were doing it, so that the Chinese could come in and buy up the real estate. So this is really a matter of prayer, because I believe that God restores that which is lost. And I believe that he can turn a situation around. And our nation is in a place where we need to see the divine turnaround of God. We need to see God doing something that people say couldn't be done. That the properties that were basically, stolen from people because of the violence and because of the unfettered tyranny that was taking place in these cities that caused people to flee. That was intentional. And so, I believe that God will vindicate and will eradicate these people from our land. And I'm not talking about the Chinese people. I'm talking about the CCP. And the truth is coming out. It really is. It 100% is. And speaking of truth, okay, I got a question for you. So This is something that just makes no sense at all, like 0 sense. And people are obviously seeing this, okay? But, hold on, let me find it. It's in my okay, well, here's a great video. Watch this. Hold on. This is so funny. These people are such hypocrites. All right. This is in the DOJ. Okay. Have you ever seen anything so ridiculous? I shared it in my Telegram. So that brings me to my next point, which is the the airlines. So the airlines are, uh, inflicting, enforcing all these rules. And, all right, somebody just put something from Dan Scavino in my, in the Telegram. There's no Dan Scavino is not on Telegram. Listen to me. Dan Scavino is not on Telegram. He's not on Telegram. All right. So where is that meme? Let me find it. Let me find it. Okay. Too many pictures on my phone. Of course, I can't find it. Basically, the whole point of it is that the airlines have everybody packed in, and they have you packed in. You're supposed to be wearing the face covering, and yet you're packed in on the plane, and then but then you have to uh, you have to distance when you're deplaning, so it takes forever. And you have to distance in the airport, and they have the seats, they have distancing blocked off in the chairs in the airport. It like I don't there none of it makes sense. And the companies that are boycotting Georgia and saying that voter ID is racist. They're the same. They require IDs. Major League Baseball requires an ID. The airlines, you have to show your ID to get through security, to get on a plane. But that's not racist. It doesn't make sense. Um, you know, and here's something to think about. So, the border crisis. A sex offender can get custody of a child, an unaccompanied minor, at the border because the FBI apparently and the DHS are not doing fingerprinting and extensive background checks on people that volunteer to help take care of these children. And um and the and yet in some states like New York, you can't go to a concert without proving that you're vaccinated. You can't go to a ball game or a concert without proof of the vaccination. So you can go to border states, and you could be a sex offender and just show up and take a child, an innocent child. But you can't go to a concert. This is where we are. This is this administration. This is what's happening under the tyranny of these people. It's crazy. These people are crazy. Oh gosh. Do you guys want to see some barley humor? Do you need a humor break? All of a sudden the chat just just disappeared. The chat stops and then it comes back. All right. Okay, barley. We need a barley break. Okay. Okay, so um I was trying to work. It's a little bit long, but it's worth the wait.
What happened? What happened? Barley?
I was laughing so hard. Oh gosh. So anyway, that's our barley break for the day. I told you he acts like a dog, right? Isn't that the funniest thing? I'll probably put it on the Telegram. Here's another one that's really funny. So I told you he acts like a dog. So this is me. I'm trying to get work done, right? And here's Barley. Just there he is. I mean, he's literally gnawing on the paper. Yeah. Do your cats do that? I didn't realize we had like a dog in our house. He's so funny. Okay, so that's our barley break for today. um, it's just so crazy. He's so funny. All right. Yeah. Um, yeah, he does. He wants me to pay attention to him. um, yeah. You know, I when I first started watching Amanda Grace and her animal sanctuary, I was a little bit annoyed. I was like, why are all these animals here? But now I kind of get it. You know, it is a little bit of comic relief, that's for sure. Yeah, he totally wants my attention. It's so funny. And he has little games he plays, you know, like he has a tunnel that he likes to hide in. It's like I told you, he's pretty much taken over the house. And my dad comes in and he looks around, you know, where's the cat? It's so funny. But that's our barley. Okay. So what else was I gonna tell you? Um oh, product endorsement. So today I had really bad allergies this morning. Sometimes I get allergies during, you know, like seasonal allergies, and I take quercetin for it, and that really helps. But you know, some days are just not as great. And you know, yesterday it was really windy, and so a lot of the pollen blows. If you have allergies, you know what I mean. So I woke up this morning, and you know, my head was really stuffy. And yes, I did see the African gray parrot. My head was really stuffy and I was taking quercetin, and I don't take any medication. I don't take Sudafed or anything like that. And I was drinking water, eating superfoods. And then I got my order of superfoods in. And I had ordered some of our kamut wheatgrass, kamut, organic kamut blend. How do you say it? Kamut. It's the ancient wheatgrass. It's the non-GMO heirloom seed of wheatgrass. And our company founder saved seeds years ago because he saw what was going to be happening with the food supply. And one of my friends had ordered the wheatgrass, and she was putting it in her superfood shake. She said just put like a teaspoon. It's incredibly potent. And this friend of mine, Donna, she is she's like an old hippie, and she really understands the biology, the molecular chemistry of our superfoods. And so, she was telling me how incredibly pure and potent everything we have is. And then she said the kamut. She said, try that because it's a whole nother level. She said, put about a teaspoon in your green shake. And so I got this kamut, and it came today, and right after I mixed up my shake. And so I put some, I want to show you guys this. Look how green this is. It's amazing. It's amazing. Like, I don't know if you can see it. It's super, here, I'm going to shine the light on it. Look at that. So it's amazing. And I do take nettle leaf. That's in my quercetin. Okay. So anyway, so this is organic kamut blend. And the reason that our kamut is so potent is because we cut the wheatgrass when it's really short, when it's at the peak of nutrition, and then we live dehydrate it. And so I put this in my shake, and I was drinking it, and my nose started running. My head cleared up. Isn't that amazing? My head is the most clear that it's been all day. And it was because, I didn't even put a full teaspoon because I was a little bit scared, because she said it's really potent, and I mixed it in with like 20 ounces of my shake, and I stirred it. And yeah, so look at this. Look how amazing. It's just, hold on. It even smells good. Look at that. So it's, there it is. Organic kamut blend. So if you get a promo code from me for superfoods, you can add that to your order. It's not that expensive. And if you're really into it, you can buy a whole pouch. And our pouches they're funny. They're made of bamboo, and they're biodegradable. So this is, I don't know, 90 grams. You can get like a pound or however big it is. So anyway, amazing stuff, you guys. And oh, by the way, if you order the juice bar in the bag, the juices come in little containers like this. So it's really easy to keep. But pretty cool. Kamut, Kamut. So if you go on the website, it's organic kamut blend. So if you're already a customer, you can add that. And speaking of which, if you're already using superfoods and you don't want to pay for express shipping, get your reorder in now. This is a good time to do a reorder so that you can do the regular shipping. Somebody just said my Facebook page was not available. Let me just see about that. Can somebody put the Facebook link in Telegram? Of course, now I'm about to sneeze. Let me see. It looks like I'm live. You may, oh. Permission denied. Okay. That's interesting. Did they take my Facebook video down? Oh my goodness. They might have taken my video down. Oh no, I'm live. There I am. I'm still there. But they're messing with me. They're messing with me. Yeah, so the kamut is wheatgrass. Yes. So it's an ancient variety of wheatgrass. So if you know about wheat and grains, a lot of the grains that we have available to us now are industrially farmed. And so they're completely genetically modified, and they're laced with Roundup. And so our company, the reason that our superfoods are so potent is that our seeds are, for the most part, our heirloom, our crops are grown with heirloom seeds that have never been modified, that have never been dosed with pesticides, and that have never been adulterated in that way. That's why it's so that's one of the reasons it's so potent, and because of our growing conditions. And then also because everything is live dehydrated. That's why the superfoods are so powerful and so potent. That's why people get the results that they get with the superfoods. Um, so you ordered today, you don't know how to get your points. Maybe we can look at your account, Vicky. Usually it shows you when you check out. It'll ask you if you want to redeem points. So yeah. Do I sell we don't have the wheat berries. We don't have the wheat berries, but we do have the wheat grass. And we also have rice bran solubles, which is pretty amazing because it's the healthy, really good part of the rice. And if you have blood sugar issues, it actually helps stabilize your blood sugar. You know, you don't usually think of rice as that because it's usually a high carb thing. That's because it's all processed and the bran is gone. So that's another thing. All right. Yeah, wheat has been GMO. Yeah, so our wheat is not GMO. Yeah, our wheatgrass is not GMO. So your aunt had a farm and would dry her seeds every season and replant the following season. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So industrially farmed wheat has been adulterated for a very long time. This is why people want heirloom seeds. This is why they're so valuable, is because they've been preserved and protected from being genetically modified. So that's very interesting. Okay. So that was just a little bit of a squirrel. Oh, by the way, okay, so if you want superfoods from me, make sure you email me. It's info@marygracemedia.com, and you can get a voucher. So you can save over $100 off of a 30-day transformation. That's what most people do. And you can also, you can order the Komoot additionally to that. But it's definitely recommended if you haven't experienced the superfoods that you do the transformation. And my promo code will save you over $100 off retail of that 30-day reset. So it's 60 meal replacements. So it's a great deal. So it's info@marygracemedia.com. Email me so that you can get that information and get your promo code. And it's great. It's great stuff. Just really, really high quality. If you're trying to lose that COVID weight, this is a good plan because you get good nutrition the whole time. Somebody was asking me about like juice fasting, that kind of thing. This is so much better because you're keeping your blood sugar steady. You're actually feeding your body good nutrition the entire time you're doing the reset. And so everything that we have in that reset is formulated to work optimally together to help your body restore and absorb the nutrients. So it's pretty cool. And there's an explainer video that I send you when you email me, so you don't have to just figure it out yourself. Yeah, the COVID-15. If you got the COVID-15, write to me and you can do a reset. If you got the COVID-50, or if you just got the Life 50 or whatever, Delia, I don't think Delia's on. Is Delia on here today? Maybe she's on Twitter. She's lost over 60 pounds doing the reset. Yeah, some people do drink coffee. Delia said that she drank coffee the whole time. Joyce, I think you want to get like organic coffee, and then just try to cut your coffee intake. And if you're using sugar, try to make sure it's organic, but try to get off the sugar. A lot of people find that they actually don't want the coffee because their energy is just off the charts. I don't know if you guys watch Ann Vandersteel, but there's Delia. Hey, Delia. So Ann Vandersteel started using the superfoods, and within just a couple of days, she wasn't making her afternoon pot of coffee. She does her show at night. And so she was making coffee just to get through the show. And she doesn't do it anymore. And if you've watched her show lately, her energy is off the charts. It's because of the superfoods. She took it with her when she went down to the border, and that's pretty much all she had the whole time was her superfoods. So it's a complete meal replacement. Yeah. So I think raw sugar is pretty much the same as sugar. It's just, it because it gives you a blood sugar response. Okay. But yeah, so Delia was drinking decaf. But the main thing is coffee is one of the most heavily sprayed crops. It is just covered with pesticides. So it's worth it, even if you're not doing my superfoods, get off of the regular coffee. Get the highest quality organic non-GMO coffee you can afford. And you might find that you're actually drinking less of it when you do that. So, so yeah, the thing about our transformation is that it's really about a lifestyle, and so you're learning different ways of eating. There's a lot of education with it. It's pretty simple though. It simplifies your life, and so it simplifies your life, and it just makes it a lot easier to eat healthy. I mean, everyone in here who's on superfoods, wouldn't you agree? There's a lot of people in the chat who've been doing the superfoods. Your cat loves the sound of the packing paper. That's so funny. Yeah, you have access to organic coffee. Try that. Yeah, see how you feel. MSM has helped your allergies. Oh, that's interesting. I just ordered one of our supplements today. It's called Joint Flex, and the main ingredient is MSM. It's one of the things in it. So I'm going to be doing that. Marian says, I'm a completely different person since I've been taking superfoods for the last 30 days. That's awesome. Yeah, I feel the same way. Somebody wrote to me yesterday. They sent me a picture of my screenshot from the show. They said, superfoods are treating you well. You look great. So I was looking at pictures of myself from a couple years ago before I did superfoods, and I'm so much healthier now. I really am. Okay, that's enough about superfoods. info@marygracemedia.com. Make sure that you write to me so that you can get started. It's springtime, spring into wellness. Get on the superfoods train. Yeah. Organic honey. Yep. Local honey is supposed to be good for allergies, but I'm okay. Like, I'm not miserable. But the wheatgrass has really helped. Really amazing. So I'm pretty happy about that. Joyce, I have a friend who's curious to know if this helps Parkinson's. It's real food. So, we can't ever give medical advice. I can't tell anybody that it's going to help with one thing or another. I can tell you that I've heard amazing stories firsthand from people who have really benefited, even with conditions that they thought they were going to need, big time medical intervention for. So, my suggestion is it's not going to hurt. Putting real organic superfoods, high quality, non-GMO superfoods in your body is, I don't think it's not going to hurt anything. It's going to help because your body learns how to restore itself and heal itself. So that's something to think about. Okay, let me just look at my notes here and see. Let me check. I want to check my Telegram and see if anything has come up since we've been talking. One of the things that people are starting to talk about, and I've seen this over and over. Some of you saw General Flynn, he was on His Glory today with General McInerney, and he was saying that the states, and I talked about this yesterday, as far as the election goes, as far as getting the election back, the states are the people, individuals, and groups are actively pursuing forensic analysis of the votes in Georgia and Arizona, and I think in some other places. And so that is a really important thing to take into account, because for those people who say that nothing's happening, I would beg to differ. And one of the things that I wanted to say too, and because I still truly believe that President Trump is coming back, and of course, even if General Flynn knew that, he wouldn't be able to say it. But I wanted to show you a friend of mine saw President Trump at Mar-a-Lago the other night, and she sent me a picture. Um, she put it up on Instagram, so I think it's okay to share it. So she sent me a picture, and it was pretty cool because they talked a little bit. This was after Dr. Gina's show. By the way, did you guys see the interview that Dr. Gina did with President Trump? The radio interview that she did on Real America's Voice. I mentioned it. I told you about it. But Sylvia says wheatgrass causes gas. It's probably because your body is detoxing. That's what that's about. Because it's probably attacking all the candida in your body. That's not a bad thing. Okay, so let me show you this picture, because I wanted to show you this picture because President Trump is hold on. Anyway, so the interview that Gina did with him, the interview that Gina did with him was so good. Who saw it? Okay, she put it up on her Facebook and her Instagram and maybe her Twitter. Who knows how long they'll keep it up there. But it was really good. At Real America's Voice is her network. And I loved it because she talked to him about his family. She talked to him about his faith. It was the kind of interview that every other president has gotten from the media. And this was really the first time that I've heard an interview with President Trump where the interviewer wasn't waiting for that gotcha question to try to spring on him. Who else watched it, and who else listened to that? Yeah. Didn't you feel that? I mean, it really made me miss him because it was such a beautiful interaction between them, because he trusts her too. And you could tell because he was really relaxed, and he was just talking from the heart. And it really drove home to me the travesty of how horribly the media has treated the president, even the so-called conservative media, because they have tried so hard to catch him up on everything. And it's been a real disservice to the people, because if the American people had access for them to see interviews like the one that Gina did, they would have a completely different perspective on who President Trump is. You know that, I know that, but I really hold the mainstream media responsible for the perception that people have of him, because they have just lied and lied and lied and lied, and they're paying now because they're losing their ratings. But the interview, it's worth going and finding it and listening, because it was so heartfelt. And so this was the same night after the interview that this picture was taken. And I wanted to show you this because I want you to look at him. I mean, my friend is beautiful, but look at him and look at how happy he looks. Okay. Look at President Trump. Look at how happy he looks. Isn't he amazing? I mean, he's lost weight. He looks rested. He's tan. He's happy. They said my friend said that they had such a good conversation. He was super relaxed and just really happy. And this is what I want you to take away here. This is important to understand, because knowing what you know about the leftist, this regime, the resident in chief, and the way that they treat people and the way that they treat their enemies, knowing what you know about the political persecution, knowing what you know about the political persecutions that we have seen, General Flynn, George Papadopoulos, what's going on with Brandon Straka right now, Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, right? The powers that be have gone after these people relentlessly, relentlessly. And the reason that I wanted to show you this picture and I wanted to draw attention to his mood right now and his attitude and the way he looks, and also to the posts that he's been putting up and the posts that Don Jr. has been putting up. I want to ask you seriously, knowing the way that these people treat their enemies and seeing the president's demeanor in that picture. This was on Easter weekend, okay, just a few days ago. Knowing all of that, do you think that the president is worried? Do you think that there's any way that he doesn't still hold the reins of power? Because wouldn't he be worried about them coming for him? Does this look like a man who's worried for himself or his family, whether they're going to be picked up and arrested and have a dawn, an early morning raid by the FBI? Because that's what they want to do to him. You know that. I mean, does this man look worried? I mean, if he had truly lost, like they say he did, and he was completely out of power, and he had no recourse against these goons that would come knocking at his door and banging down the door with news crews at 6 a.m. and go after his family, do you think he would look like that? I want you to remember that picture. I showed it to you because I want you to remember that picture when you start to think that we're losing. That's not the face of a man who lost or is losing. The media wants you to think, and they wanted you to think this during the quiet part of the Trump, of after he left the White House. They wanted you to think that he just left in disgrace and that he is a man living forever in disgrace. That's not the face of a man who's disgraced. That's not the face of a loser. That's not the face of a man who's running scared for his family and their safety. Who agrees with me? I mean, So, not scared. Okay. All right. So thank you guys for all of your comments today. I appreciate it. And my Facebook is on. Facebook may have been having some issues, but so listen, I'm Mary Grace. This is Mary Grace Media. Make sure that you keep track of my website, marygracemedia.com, if you want to support this show. By the way, thanks, Jean. I appreciate your contribution the other day. If you want to support the show, and Delia, thank you. If you want to support the show, make sure you go to marygracemedia.com and then /support, or just click on support. You can do that just by making a monthly or a one-time donation. And then the other way to do it is by buying superfoods. And when you do that, it's win-win because you're getting healthier and I get a commission from superfoods. So it's a great combination. And so make sure you're following me on all my social media. So it's going to be YouTube, Clout Hub, Facebook, Instagram. What's the other one? Twitter. And it's Mary Grace Media. And then on Twitter, it's Real Mary Grace 1. And then when they give me back my other account, it'll be Mary Grace Media. So I'll be back on Thursday at 5:30 Eastern. Make sure you're here. And I'll be traveling next week. So don't miss any shows between now and then, because my schedule next week will be a little bit erratic. Okay. All right. I will see you tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. No, Thursday, 5:30 Eastern. Have a great evening, everybody. And keep the president in your prayers. And remember, go to Let Us Worship on Instagram. Go to Sean Foyt's website and support what he's doing all over the country. Let Us Worship. Buy some of his gear. Okay. See you later, everybody.